about today, and I know that New York done beat it to death, but I want to talk about R. Kelly.
Oh, you know what? I was going to ask you that, but I said I didn't want to get off the topic. But that's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about R. Kelly.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because it's so many white men in America who have killed our women, our men, unjustly murdered our men, our women, even our children. And I don't think that we have a group of black women who have organized to go after them. These white men and women who have worked to destroy our people, our families. And I don't know of any group of black women who have come together and decided to do some taping and interviews and bring charges against them.
Real talk,
so
sister.
I think it's very ironic that some black women have headed up this campaign against R. Kelly. And I want to talk about what and why we do that kind of thing against a man.
You know what's funny? Me and a brother was talking about that not too long ago, just now on the phone, just now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, sister.
You know, we haven't had that, but we will always, and this just really proves the things that I've been talking about since March of 1990 when I came out with the Black Man's Guide. And you know what kind of hell I've gone through over the years.
Oh, yeah.
People fight with
they
me
came
about
at you for that.
You know, and it has taken a lot of energy and a lot of my strength and time to go out and try to defend the truth. But we, as black women, when we get mad at one man, now this is really interesting how this goes. When we get mad at one man, we take it out on all the men. And we tend to do that, and we punish them, and we hate them. We can't stand rejection. And I think a lot of the women who are angry with R. Kelly now because he likes younger females are really jealous and angry and disappointed because he cut them loose because they either aged out or he didn't want them anymore or he didn't fulfill his promises. And that includes his wife, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And so I feel bad for the brother. In America, the traditional common law minimum age to get married is for boys to be 14 and girls can be 12. This ain't no new information. Okay, 24 states, you can be under 16 and get married. 17 states have no legal minimum. You can get married at any age as long as the parents consent. Mm-hmm. In Utah and Alabama, you can be 14. 12-year-old girls can get married in Alaska, Louisiana, and South Carolina now. Okay? So this is not new. The white man has always married 12 and 13-year-old girls. There are laws on the books that people are fighting now to get taken off because of they calling it the child bride situation from other countries and sex trafficking, which is what they are calling slavery now. They didn't change that language so that they can pull slavery out of the vocabulary that any of us use and just call it human trafficking, sex trafficking. That's the new language for that, you know. And so when they came here, they didn't have enough people. Mostly men came. Women were very scarce. And so what they did is that as soon as a young girl got through puberty, as soon as she started having her menstrual cycle, then they were able to marry her because she could birth a child. Mm-hmm. The white man has always been concerned about his numbers, and his birth rate is down right now. And he's marrying grown women, but they have fertility problems more than we have. And that's why they get so excited when they get pregnant. A lot of times we get pregnant, we be disappointed. We be mad. But when they get pregnant, it's a sign of celebration because they finally, will be able to bring another white child into the world. But they would always marry these young girls as soon as they became childbearing able.
Do you think it is better? Do you think it works better with an older man or a younger man? Does the age even matter? Or does the age even matter?
Age does matter, sooner because a younger man, there have been studies have been done over the years that say as women that we mature 5 or 7 years ahead of you all anyway. Mm-hmm. Now that would be emotionally, socially, and a lot of other categories of development in humans. And so my own husband, he was 16 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that almost wasn't old enough because we need somebody who has superior, more experience, knowledge, somebody who has more patience, and somebody who has something to teach us. And so it has been tradition. In fact, men usually congratulate each other when they have a younger woman. It's always looked at as a source of pride. And so this is not new. Now, Elvis Presley was 25 when he married his wife Priscilla, and she was 14. Oh. They call him the king.
Look at that. Look at that. Go ahead, sister.
Jerry Seinfeld, that comedian that everybody thinks is so funny, he was 39. He married a girl 17.
And you know what, Sister Shahrazad, behind that?
Criticize none of this.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Steven Tyler, the rock star, he was 27. He married a little girl 14. He's still great. Ain't nobody ever bring this stuff up. And Jerry Lee Lewis, that piano player that sang that Goodness Gracious, Great Balls of Fire, his little girl was 13 when he got with her. So white men, popular white men, now we're not even talking about the white men we don't know about and who weren't famous.
Right.
But they've been doing this. R. Kelly ain't did nothing no different. And as a lot of black men know, all of you know, because of the food, the hormones in the food, these young girls have developed more so even than a lot of adult women. They got big breasts. They're sexually attractive to men and women, unfortunately.
Right.
So what happens is that a lot of times you can't push them young girls away. They won't leave you alone. And so as adult women, if a woman is out here and she's trying to maintain a relationship, she's not just trying to defend her man against other grown women. She got to defend him against them young girls that be coming at y'all hard. And they make it almost impossible for you all to decline it.
Is there a conspiracy to tear down the legacy of these great legends that come up in our races? Like, for example, look at Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. Let's talk about that too. Look at what they're doing to Michael Jackson now that he's gone and he can't defend himself.
Free. And those other white men are big time. They got big time lawyers. You know, it's like, why do we have the tax problems and money problems when we get to be rich and famous? It's because they have access to the best defense, the best attorneys, the best accountants, the best bookkeepers, and best tax attorneys that protect them from things that, because of racism, they keep us out of. So we end up losing everything we got. We don't have the same kind of advisors.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same as in these relationships. As I said, we don't tear these men down. They need to come out with surviving all of the men that be with young girls. And how did those situations turn out?
Mm-hmm.
So R. Kelly, being as famous as he is, those girls are throwing themselves at his feet. It's impossible that women would not be coming after those kind of men. So when I look at that, you know, and that's not saying that R. Kelly should have done those things. But, you know, when you get to be rich and famous, I peeped in there. I didn't go in because I couldn't qualify because I wouldn't do the things required. But I peeped at it. Mm-hmm. And when you get to have really a lot of money and really a lot of fame, the first thing they do is that you have access to better drugs. Drugs tear down the morals. That's the purpose of that, to break down the morals. And so when you get better drugs, you start to thinking, because of the financial situation you in and having so much money and success and people worshiping you coast to coast around the world, that you deserve something, some kind of greater sex than everybody else is having.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have something that's bigger or greater or more unique. And Bill Cosby fell into that same trap. So it's not excusing them for it, but I'm just telling you what's available at that stage of success. And so it makes them feel like I deserve something better. I deserve something more greater, something more creative, something more unique, or whatever it is. And so then they get off into that. And they end up having to pay for it. They have to pay for it spiritually, and they have to pay for it emotionally and financially. It costs a lot of money to have weird sex that you got to constantly be paying people off.
Let me ask you, sister, what do you think about men putting their hands on women? Is it ever permissible in a relationship for a man to strike a woman?
Well, this is how I see that as how it works. Okay, I agree. The one thing that a man shouldn't do to a woman is to physically hit her. That's what, no matter what happened, if I said that, a man should not ever physically hit a woman or injure her or strike her. That's the one thing that you all shouldn't do to us. But then my question gets to be, what is the one thing we shouldn't do to you?
Go ahead.
There ain't nothing. We have permission in this society to do anything to you all. We can spit in your face. We can kick you. We can hit you in your privates. We can do anything, and there ain't no penalty for it. Women, we don't act feminine anymore. We've lost our femininity as black women. Okay? We more rough and tougher than y'all. In fact, we'll throw our fists up to fight a man, knowing full well that if you all touch us, that the big white man
That's right.
is going to come in and defend us. He ain't on our side.
Is that by design,
He's just
sister?
against you.
Is it by design for it to be like that?
He's not on our side. He's against you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's willing to do anything to come against you, keep you down, keep you locked up, break your spirit, and make sure that your woman is not under your control. So, no, I can't say that there's any situation that a man don't have a right to do that. If a woman come up and jumps in a man's face and she physically is striking and hitting him, he has a human obligation. Human now, I'm talking about. Right. This is just what humans do, That's mammals. Right. This is what we do. If she does that, then he has a right to do more than restrain her. Because some of these women come at you like a man. And you have to be able to defend yourself. I didn't teach my grandsons not to fight back. I say those girls come up and they push you and shove you or kick you or spit on you or whatever, you knock the hell out of them. With the same amount of force that they used on you. Don't go overboard. But if they come up and slap you, you have a right to slap them back and I'll come and defend you.
Real talk.
I'm not teaching that. That's against all nature. So women don't want to act like women, don't want to be feminine, don't want to do the things that a woman traditionally and historically has done in order to receive respect and to be protected and upheld by our men. We want to act any kind of way we can act, any kind of wild, out of control way, but we'll always throw up. But a man don't have no right to ever touch a woman. Well, a woman, we don't have any right to behave like we do, but we do it. So if we got to break the rules, then it makes you all be able to break the rules too. As I said, if that's what we can't do, then what is it that we can't do to you all? And we can't come up with one thing that we all agree on, the men and the women, that we shouldn't do to a man. You all are just out there, just completely helpless in a sense, because it don't even have to be the truth. If we call the police and lie and say you hit us, they're going to take you down. It's going to cost you a lot of time and money.
All right. Do you think a man should have more compassion than money or more money than compassion?
Well, in America, the people with compassion don't get no money, unfortunately.
Right.
Now, that's really how that is. It's unfortunate, but that's really how that is. You know, if you live here and you're trying to survive under this system, you know, there's an old saying about America: you can do anything you want to do here, just don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we living in those kind of times. Things are only right to a certain extent. There's not going to be any perfection in any situation that we're involved in, but we have to still continue to work to defend what little civilization that we have left, so that we can still set a good example and rear children who are able to be successful and who know how to protect themselves from the enemy. So, that's where we are. So I want people to come out on April the 28th. That's on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Come out, get your life changed. Here's some life-changing information. And come to a place where you'll hear information that will agree with your nature and where you can relax and be among your own kind and learn the truth about yourself.
Yes, April the 28th is going down Sunday at the National Black Theater. Last question for my sister, and because she got things that she got to do and get ready. I'm glad she took this time to come and speak with me and you, family. And I want to ask you, Sister Shahrazad, how do you subscribe the type of woman that can succeed in this type of lifestyle, meaning polygamy? How would you describe her?
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
I know you want to save that. All right. I tried to get something out you. I tried to squeeze it out. But, you want to save that. That's good.
Listen, they're not like them two cash cows out there, Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. They're not like that. That's why they don't have no man. And it's unfortunate that in today's society, you either have to pick success or pick a man. And they decided to pick success and come against our men because of their own bad situations that they have suffered. And I feel bad for sisters like that, because a lot of times it's just due to fear that keeps us from being in relationships with men. And we have so many unreasonable expectations. And those are some of the things, that, like I said, we'll be able to talk about. If you're an adult woman and you have a granddaughter that's 18 or older, please bring her so that she can get some clear understanding about what to expect out of a relationship and how it's going to be for real, so that we don't keep spending generation after generations of time searching for the mystery God that don't exist.
That's right. Once again, I thank you, my sister. I love you. I will be in the